KAWC.org or ask your smart device to play KAWC or KOFA.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
On today's program, we are going to be joined first by Dr. Nasira and Alex from Yuma Core Kids. We're going to be discussing nutrition, fitness, movement-based learning, family wellness, and building confidence in children. After that, it's off to Kase and Misty Limmeroth. They're the owners of High Tanks Brewing Company. They're going to be talking about craft beer, entrepreneurship, community events, and their new business, the Taproom and Pizzeria. Oh, and they have a tap Takeover this Friday at the Pint House. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Citrine Law, LLC, a Yuma law firm practicing criminal defense, DUI defense, and personal injury law. Information is at citrinelaw.com.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
Johnny Show! What's up, Yuma?
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon. Johnny, did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was cool. I went swimming yesterday, so that was fun. You know what I mean?
It is swimming time, yes.
Yeah. Get out of the heat and chilled, and I did laundry. So it was a boring weekend, but I need those every once in a while.
Laundry, Sunday is always laundry day for me. But
that's it.
But Friday night, I went to the Fort Yuma Rotary Club trip to nowhere.
Yeah, you were telling me that you were going to do that. So
yes, ask me where I went.
Nowhere.
Right?
Yeah. Where'd you go? Like, what is this?
No,
Being mysterious.
It's happened. So the evidence is online. But we started out. So we met at Lutz Casino. Mm-hmm. Then we took buses down to Eddie's in San Luis. We were there for a little bit, and then we ended up at the Pivot Point Conference Center here in Yuma, and it had a theme of like music, like Grammys.
Oh, right.
People dressed up in, whatever that meant to them.
It was a pretty fun, good event.
Fun event.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so is it to raise money, or what was it?
Everything is like a fundraiser for Rotary, which in turn, shares it with the community, with community groups. Mm-hmm. And there's, about 17 groups that benefit from the Fort Yuma Rotary. But so every Rotary Club, can reach out to whatever community groups they want to and give them, checks.
Yeah.
So that's always good for nonprofits, right? But, so, and then like I said, it had a theme of Grammy, so everyone was, and our friend DJ KM7 was the DJ.
He was there?
Jose Montoya.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
And then what about the rest of your weekend?
That was pretty much the highlight of my weekend.
Highlight.
The rest was just staying indoors, staying hydrated.
There you go.
Yes. But if I can say, this morning I went to a media tour.
You did? You tell me about that. Something with AgTech or something?
AgTech is the business in Somerton, and I'll have a story up later at KAWC.org. But
can you give us a little insight, a little hint?
So real quickly, they just wanted to dispel any concerns of the community. Their focus is on safety. I will read that they work with biosolids, and so they say that biosolids are transported and applied to land in a responsible and regulated manner to support agriculture, reclamation, and soil health access across the state. And they also, what that means for us is Yuma County Vector Control investigators reviewed public concerns regarding fly activity near AgTech operations. And AgTech says public reporting indicates investigators did not identify biosolids as a fly breeding source.
Interesting. Is this the one that Tyler's been complaining about? Or
Probably, yes. People online. But, there's a lot of misinformation online. There's good information, but they just wanted to let, the media and the public know that, they are operating by the book, and whatever state regulations are, they will follow that.
I think accountability is key, right? So I'm glad you went over there, and look forward to your story later.
Yes. Very much so.
All right. Who do we got with us today, Victor?
All right. So today our first guests are Nasira, Burkholder-Cooley, and Alexandra, Anglin. We're going to talk about Yuma Core Kids Summer Camp coming up later this month at Yuma Catholic High School. Thank you both for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning. Good morning. So we like to get to know our guests before we get into what Yuma Core Kids is all about. And we'll start with you, Nasira. You're a doctor. You told me, no, you can't diagnose me today, but you did say, about nutrition. So let's go back before that, though. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in the Seattle area in a town called Sammamish, Washington.
Sammamish? Sammamish. All right. Okay, cool.
Sandwich?
I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to believe you when you say there's a place called Sammamish. But go ahead.
There are a lot of Seattle suburbs named after Indian tribes.
Native tribes.
Oh, okay, that's
so
what it is. All right.
it's one of those.
Okay. So you grew up over there. Were you always into nutrition, fitness, and?
Not exactly. My family is very health oriented.
Oh, really?
I am very influenced by my father, who was extremely into fitness when I was growing up. So I started working out with him when I was probably 3 years old.
3. Wow.
And from there, I pursued ballet. I was a classical ballet dancer into my 20s and was pursuing ballet as a career until I was about 22. And I did end up attending University of Arizona School of Dance, but double majored in nutrition science.
Okay.
And I found a new passion along that journey for chemistry, biology, and found that I had a knack for it. So ultimately decided to pursue graduate school for nutrition science and sort of retired my ballet career at the time.
So ballet, is that a difficult field to get into? It seems like it would be.
It's not difficult to get into as a child. I think most children...
Well, not as a child, but like if you want to be a professional, I'm saying.
It's extremely competitive.
Okay, there we go. I was right. As a kid, you get into it. Your mom, you put your little tutu or whatever, and then you're like. But then, if you want to go professional, what was that like?
It is very demanding, very competitive. I think most people don't realize that it's similar to any elite athletics in terms of the physical and emotional strain that it puts on a body and mind. And I loved it because of that. I loved that it was challenging and competitive, but it also takes a toll and it becomes your life. So I think in my 20s, I realized that I did want to have a family someday. And it's not that you can do those things as a dancer, but it's a lot more difficult. And frankly, I really just liked science too.
Okay.
And I had never been very academically interested because I loved ballet and other sports too along the way as a child. But I realized in my college years that I liked studying science.
So then you said you didn't like academics, but then when you found something you liked that said, okay, I could do this now. All right. So what was it about the science that you liked?
I thought it was practical. I think initially it was, well, if I have to be here at school and learn something besides dance, it might as well apply to my dance training.
Because nutrition and all of that goes hand in hand.
So I was learning more about my body. I was learning about how nutrition could fuel my body, and it made sense. I was applying that to my dance training initially. And so then that helped you pass your classes then? Because like I can apply this, but then at some point you said, I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to pull on this thread a little bit longer. And then how'd you keep the motivation in that? I realized that I had an aptitude for school.
Oh, okay.
In my science classes, which were at U of A, very large classes, a lot of pre-med students, pre-nursing students, and for me, it was more just doing my obligatory classes for the nutrition degree, but I realized I was actually excelling in those classes, and I think that was really eye-opening for me to just realize, wow, there are students in here where this is really difficult for them and they're not doing well. And for me, it's kind of my secondary degree, but I'm doing really well. Maybe I need to think about what that means.
Yeah.
And also realizing at the time what a dance career might look like versus what a nutrition career might look like in terms of the balance that would offer me for family life was what redirected my path. So, yeah, you had to make a very adult decision looking at those two things and kind of weigh them out and said, because you don't want to be competitive for the rest of your life, right? It's like, that you get older and things happen. And so you say, okay, I'm going to pull on this thread a little bit more. Right. Now, so what kind of profession does somebody get into when they have a degree like yours? My undergrad degree was a degree in nutrition science. It's a Bachelor of Science. And so from there, the typical path is you pursue a dietetic internship where you do a 1-year clinical rotation at a hospital and learn really how to apply what you've learned in school. I ended up pursuing a master's degree from there in public health. And so then after that, it made sense to then get the doctorate in public health, at which time I also did my dietetic internship and then became a registered dietitian. So that set me up to, one, be able to work in academia as a professor of nutrition, which I did prior to moving here to Yuma, and also serve as a registered dietitian in a variety of settings, whether that's clinical, public health, private practice. And I've chosen to work as a dietitian mostly in a private practice setting.
Okay. Is that what you do now?
It
You
is.
have a private practice?
I do.
And what do you offer at the private practice?
Nutrition counseling, family counseling, nutrition education. I do workshops. So one exciting thing I've been able to do with my dance background is work with dancers. So I have a lot of dancer clientele, but I also do workshops across the country where I do nutrition seminars during their summer intensives or at the beginning of the season to try to help promote healthy eating. Because sadly, the dance world, while there is a lot of effort now to try to facilitate and encourage good, healthy eating amongst ballet dancers, it's still, unfortunately, I think, an area that needs work. And a lot of dancers struggle with finding the right balance to eat healthy.
All right. And last question on this topic. How'd you get to Yuma?
My husband is from Yuma.
Okay.
And we moved around for school for years and then decided we wanted to live in a community like Yuma. And we've been here about 6 months. And
It's 6 months. That's
I love
it, huh?
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you love it already. That's great.
It's been a good change.
All right. Now on to you, Alex. Where are you from originally? And please don't make a place up.
So I'm originally from El Paso, Texas.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah. But growing up, we moved quite a bit. So what feels like home is the Northern Virginia area.
Okay. And so education is more your strength. Is that correct?
I would say, yes, hands-on learning.
Hands-on learning.
For younger kids.
Now, when you were younger, is that something you knew you wanted to get into?
Always.
Really? Always?
I always worked with kids, loved being
But you were
around
a kid. But I'm
children.
saying when you were with, like, not just with them, but as a kid, like what?
So you want to hear a story?
I want a story.
When
That's what we
I
do here.
was, I think, 7 years old, my brother was in Boy Scouts, and I went to all the parents around there, and I said I would watch their children for $2.
What?
I started young.
And you're an entrepreneur. Wow.
Yep. So they did it.
They did it too?
Yeah. I mean, I sat right there next to
you were
them,
next to
you
them,
know,
right? They
but
could keep their eyes.
as a kid,
But you made money.
I did.
Man, that's awesome. And then I just want to say you were 7.
I was.
And you have a 7-year-old?
I currently have a 7-year-old.
And you're said we just got to bring this up. He was asking if he was going to be interviewed today because he helped you make the logo or
He
something.
sure did. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that before we go any further.
Oh my goodness. He is so sweet. So when we were brainstorming on just what we would want to accomplish with this, we were stuck on what a logo would look like, and we had another direction we were going in. And he goes, "Mom, I know what this needs to look like." And he goes to and gets to grab a piece of paper, and he starts writing, and he draws apple, a man running, and a heart, and then he writes our name out. And he just has this whole spiel about why this pertains to our business and why we need to go this direction. And we could not say no.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's
It's
pretty.
stuck.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
And he was one of the ones that came in earlier, right? Yeah, very
Sounds
cool.
like you're going to be a graphic designer maybe when he grows up.
Honestly, the sky's the limit with him.
Hey, we need more good graphic designers out there.
Absolutely. And so, okay, then we were talking off air. You said you were a teacher for some time?
Yes.
In the public school?
Originally, I was in property management. That was my main career. When we were looking to have a family, I left that career and I wanted to find something that would be easier to have some work-life balance. And then I realized really quickly, teachers are amazing and they do so much behind the scenes. So I worked in a kindergarten classroom for a bit, and then I left when I got pregnant with my son because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But I worked with the littles.
So you did that, and then, but you didn't quit education because you have your kids, and you said, I'm going to be a teacher again. I'm just going to teach them. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I currently homeschool them. Never in a million years did I think I was going to homeschool, but it started really tugging at my heart when my son was 3, and he's just very interested in the world. And so we would rent all these library books, and I started to learn methods about, taking big information and breaking it up to where a 3, a 4, a 5-year-old can understand. And it just made me realize they're sponges. They're capable of learning so much more than we give them credit for. And so we were taking these big complex topics and breaking them up. And then we added a degree of hands-on education, because I think kids learn best when they're moving.
Absolutely.
When they're digging into the dirt or the Play-Doh, or, so a lot of our models that we use with camp kind of stems from that background of hands-on learning, and really how can we make this stick for an 8-year-old, for a 10-year-old.
Okay, and then so while you're teaching your kids, you're also learning quite a bit.
Yes.
You're learning about how best to teach them, right?
Yes, you're learning how best to teach them. And one of the best things about homeschool is you almost recall memories that you have as a kid learning topics, but it sticks so much more because you have life experience now. You understand fully the concept. So it's really been a beautiful journey. And the best part is when I look at my kids, they love learning.
They love to learn.
They love to learn.
Versus somebody like, I hate going to school or something like that, that attitude, and you're seeing something different.
Like, don't get me wrong. He was having trouble at one point with reading physically. He loves to be read too at one point.
Okay.
But he didn't want to put in the work necessarily, right? And then I said, you know what? We're going to pack this up. We're going to get a bunch of books on octopuses, because he was really into octopuses at the time. And he was really intrigued to try to learn how to read these books.
Wow.
So it's almost, the beauty of homeschooling is catering a bit to the child so that they are working, but it doesn't quite feel like work sometimes.
Doesn't feel like work. Yeah, absolutely.
And then sometimes we just have to suck it up and do it.
There's always
a balance.
That's a theme of this show, is just life balance. So how'd you end up to Yuma? You have a man? Your man said...
I have a man.
Okay, cool. And he said, is he from here? Wanted to move here? What's your story?
No, my husband is in the federal government.
Okay.
So we're from the Northern Virginia area, and then we have moved quite a bit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so now...
How long have you been in Yuma?
January was a year.
Oh, okay. So a little bit longer?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it so far?
I actually love it. When we were moving from El Paso to over here, I got a lot of warnings, okay? And people were like, don't come over to Yuma.
Oh,
and I
really?
will tell you what, not true at all.
Yes.
You know why they were talking about it?
Why?
Because it's hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because
it's
it's
a
hot.
10-degree difference. And when
Yeah.
you're at 109 and you get to 119,
Yes.
it's a difference.
Yes.
But we're adjusting, and we're happy here.
Yeah, very cool. All right. With that, we are going to take a break. We're going to find out a little bit more about what you're going to be doing at this camp and why you started this business.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
We're
you.
going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Run by music lovers like yourselves, KOFA Border Radio has what you need. A non-commercial home filled with music heard from all over the world. Tune in at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM on the KOFA app or at borderradioaz.org.
Yuma Art Center announces Three-Way Exposure, a photo gallery exhibition from COFA, San Luis, and Cibola high schools. Through experiential learning, students worked with industry professionals to learn the art of photography. Opening reception on Friday, June 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. Details at yumaartcenter.com.
You're listening to 94.7 FM. The weather forecast for Yuma today is sunny with the high near 101. Winds that could gust as high as 20 miles per hour. Clear this evening with the low around 68. Sahej Barcenas, an Arizona Western College student and co-host of our Sino Primero podcast here at KOFA Border Radio, was recently recognized as the winner of a national graphic design contest. To read more, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned to 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio.
Welcome to KAWC's The Hotspot.
I'm Chloe Michael.
And I'm Maya Manry. This week, we hear some fresh perspectives about Yuma. Students from all over the world sharing their experiences.
If I'm honest, it's great. I don't think I could have chosen a better place to be welcome to.
This show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the Shows tab.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's The Hotspot.
The city of Yuma will host its annual Independence Day Spectacular on July 4th from 6 to 10 p.m. at Desert Sun Stadium. Stadium seating is limited, so bring your blankets or lawn chairs and enjoy the fireworks show. Only clear purses or bags, including diaper bags, will be permitted. No coolers. Details at yumaaz.gov/events.
Tuned in to Border Radio KOFA. We are your local public radio station that celebrates the power of music to bring people together. You can see our playlists, listen to our live stream, and listen to past programs on demand on the KOFA app. Find it at your favorite app store.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here joined by
Dr. Nasira and Alex. We're talking about Yuma Core Kids. But before we go further, I want to mention we have an audience of students. I don't know if they can hear us. I'm guessing no, because they're not paying attention.
No.
So we'll just move forward. But anyway, we had an audience earlier.
Yeah.
And anyway,
I love it. I love it when they come.
Yeah. So we're talking about Yuma Core Kids, and I want to say this is a summer camp, health and wellness summer camp for kids, happening June 22nd through the 26th at Yuma Catholic High School. We'll remind people before we end about the dates and how to get more information. CORE, C-O-R-E, it stands for something. So who wants to start with what that stands for?
Our core kids pillars are C stands for confidence, O stands for optimistic, R stands for resilient, and E stands for energetic. And these evolved from lots of discussion between the two of us about what our objectives are, what do we want to teach kids, and what attributes do we want to instill in our children and the children in this community.
So you both have a background in fitness and health. Mm-hmm. So how did the idea for this come about, Yuma Core Kids?
So our kids also do a lot of extracurricular activities, and we just so happened to have the same schedule. And so in one of our gyms that we were in the back room, and we always just shared different philosophies that we loved about health and wellness. And from there, we just realized how compatible we are. We have different strengths to bring to the table. And I think we looked at each other one day and we were like, we can do this. Mm-hmm. We should open up something to reach out to the youth, because that's what we're passionate about. We're passionate about giving every kid in Yuma the opportunity to learn about their body, learn about how to fuel their body so they can make choices on their own going forward.
Right, because we know like health and wellness is a big thing with adults, right? And everyone's into like protein and right, like gluten-free. Some people do that, you know. And then, of course, we also have the, focus on health, overall in our society. So how do you translate that to kids, right? Because I feel like for a while we've talked about, like improving school lunches and having kids eat healthier, right? And less screen time is one thing, but obviously you want another part of their health and well-being is you want them to eat well. So how do you focus on that?
So what I would say for my own kids is that this program is based off of raising our own children, right? And when you empower kids to know, hey, this item in front of me has these nutrients in it, and there's a purpose for why we're eating. You have this system in your body, and when you eat this food, these are the nutrients that are going to go in and support that system. They start to look at it more from a scientific method and less from a feelings-based. So yes, sometimes in the morning when we go somewhere and they see a donut, they're like, Mom, I want that donut. And there are times where that donut's acceptable, and there's times where it's not, and they understand that we are fueling our body and what that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my 13-year-old is on that right now. Like he reads the back of everything. Yeah, he loves to play basketball and stuff, and he wants to be the best that he can. So he'll always look, okay, no, I'm not going to eat this. I'll eat this, and but it becomes a challenge and something that he kind of looks forward to learning more about.
It's that curiosity, I think, that we want to encourage. And as far as how do we translate this health information to children, I think that's another asset of what Alex and I bring to the table, is that we both have experience educating different ages. And while I've been teaching mostly in the higher education level, she's really good at translating complex concepts into much simpler facts.
Digestible.
Exactly. So that's one important piece. And then I also should say throughout my career, something I've noticed is that there is a gap between what people know and what they actually do. And this is I'm speaking generally about adults and kids, and there's such a spillover from what a parent does to what their child does, but vice versa. So we recently were talking about how while we are offering programs for children, we're really targeting families because I see such potential for a child to come home and tell their parent what they learned, or to start being curious about food labels. And that might make a parent say, well, why? What did you learn? So that's another hope of ours too, is to reach families as a result of what we're offering.
Right, because if one person starts eating healthier in the household, the whole household could eat healthier, right? And that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
And it's important to know that, to teach kids that there are healthy foods that taste good.
Right.
Right? Because that's also because kids want the sweet, like adults do.
Right.
Well,
Every
if you
now
put
and then.
a bowl of fruit in front of kids, they get excited. I've done it in our VBSs. You put a big bowl and they're all snatching for the grapes and stuff. So it's just learning.
Yeah. So
That there are healthy, sweet options.
So then how'd you come up with the structure, what everything was going to look like beyond the nutrition?
Prioritizing other lifestyle habits, I think.
Okay.
I think we came up with what we felt like were important, healthy habits that every kid should at least know about.
So, give me a few. Or you like to break it down like a 5-year-old? Just help me understand as if I was 5.
Of like what we're teaching?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we talk about the circulatory system and we talk about how you've got this blood that goes all throughout your body, you have your heart and it's going through there and it's carrying oxygen around. This is why it's important for us to get our heart pumping, right? Exercise, get that strong, because if we don't, the older we get, it starts to not work as strongly.
And so do you see the kids, there's a light bulb kind of go off?
Oh, yes, because we
they're...
also have so many hands-on experiments that almost show you, this exists. You got to think from a kid's perspective, they have zero idea of even, some have no idea of a skeleton exists and there's muscles that move the bone.
The basic structure of our camp, for example, so I'll talk about futuristically too. One goal of ours is to eventually offer a regular class throughout the fall and spring. So maybe once a week where a group of students could get together to learn about these topics. And it would be similar to our camp. But the camp structure is we have 5 days and each day covers 1 or 2 body systems. So we'll start with musculoskeletal system. And then throughout that lesson, it'll be interspersed with nutrition tips for that system. How do you support that system with protein and B vitamins and iron, etc., and then games interjected, and then exercise type activities that also promote that system.
Promote that, okay.
So we do musculoskeletal system, we cover the circulatory system, the immune system, and then a little bit about the chemical messengers in the body, respiratory system as well.
What's the youngest kid? What are the ages?
For our camp right now, it's going to be 6 to 12, but we're looking to branch this out further.
So a 6-year-old is learning that he has a skeleton under there. He got his muscles. And if he wants big muscles, maybe like dad or something, these are certain ways to be able to do that.
Sure. Right. And then also understanding that what we do now shapes the future that we have. So the longevity aspect of it, they're old enough now where they see the 70-year-old man walking down the street and they are able to see from their own grandparents the ones that make the good choices and the ones that don't. So that's been interesting.
They're very evident, right? Do you want to be maybe hunched over, right? Or do you want to walk walk tall and proud? You have these options now.
Yes.
And they're learning these things and they the light bulb goes off. That's pretty interesting.
They care. They care already. And I think we can speak accurately because we both have children in this age range. And we've witnessed ourselves how when we identify an unhealthy habit that we see in a person or our own child and point it out and express what the consequence might be, they want to learn more and they maybe want to change what they're doing now.
Even from their own life experiences. Like I have a story of when my son was given a colossal donut and he went to go eat it and he's never had that big of a donut before and he felt super sick afterwards. And it was a learning a moment, you know. Hey, maybe next time if you go for that, you can cut it in half or ask mommy and I can, you know, help you. But I think when he correlated that moment to, hey, 60 or however many grams of sugar in this is what I feel like. It's a science experiment constantly.
How do you do those other, like practically, you said you do hands-on learning. Can you give me one example of the hands-on learning besides giving a kid a donut?
Yeah, so one of I'll give you a little sneak peek into our camp.
This is great.
One of the crafts that we've come up with is showing just how the lungs work. So we have this straw and these paper bags, and they'll breathe in and out to it, and they kind of see how it opens and condenses. And then Nasira will go more into just what is going on in that function, but it lets them see, and then from there we're going to get them moving. Get them out of breath a little bit. Have them think about
aware
those
of it.
and they can have a visual image to what's going on.
Wow, you guys are the coolest.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, but we are running out of time, though. But tell everybody. You have one more thing.
I
Go
do
ahead.
have
Yes,
one more
go
thing.
ahead.
So, real quick, one of the beauties of creating this program is we're also seeing just how much the community of Yuma is showing up for us. And we have been made aware of a Yuma family. It's the Moore family, Cindy and Derek Moore. They have a daughter named Ayla, and she is the sweetest little 8-month-old. And she was recently diagnosed with a genetic mutation. It's called STAT3 hyper IgE syndrome. And so essentially she does not have a proper working immune system. And so an example, she got an ear infection that led to her becoming deaf. So we have a jump rope event for free coming up in the fall that we want to advertise to kids, just like a jump rope contest. But now through getting to know the families in Yuma, we're able to cater this event in honor of her and her family. And it's been so special to see, because not only are we in it for the educational standpoint, but we're in it for the community, rallying around the children. So we just want them to feel our love and what Yuma has to offer. Their sweet girl. They say she's 1 in a million because her diagnosis is actually 1 in a million. There's only 300 cases in America.
Wow.
So she is the youngest to be diagnosed ever, and we just can't wait to see how we can help support this family emotionally.
That's great.
Yeah. So, okay, let everybody know. Do you guys have an Instagram or Facebook or anything you want to let people know about?
Yep, we sure do. It's Yuma Core Kids. Nice and simple, right there on Instagram. And if you want to sign up for our camp, there's a link in the bio.
Okay, cool. And tell everybody when and where one more time about the camp.
Camp is being offered this June, from June 22nd to the 26th, and it's a morning session, 9 to noon at Yuma Catholic High School.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys, and thankful for what you do for the kids in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we are going to go to break. We will be back with Kase and Misty from High Tanks Brewing Company right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
This is Border Radio, KOFA, your passport to your global destination for music. We are your local public broadcasting station that can be heard through your radio at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM, on the KOFA app, and at borderradioaz.org.
What's Up Yuma Radio is sponsored by Citrine Law, LLC, a locally owned Yuma law firm practicing criminal defense, DUI defense, and personal injury law throughout Yuma County and across Arizona. Citrine Law serves clients in English and Spanish. Information at citrinelaw.com.
From KEWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer. Arizona Western College has a new president. On Monday, June 1st, Dr. Ritika Dewan assumed office as the institution's 10th president. She's also entering the position as the first woman, person of color, and immigrant to lead the college in its 63-year history.
I feel thankful for the trust that has been placed in me, and I take this responsibility very seriously.
Dewan originally hails from India, where she began her teaching career in 2001. Since 2000, 2008, however, she's been a member of the AWC community, having started as an adjunct math and physics instructor. As she begins her presidency now, she'll be spending the summer meeting with students, employees, community leaders, and regional partners to finalize her vision and priorities for the first 100 days of her presidency. That plan, aligned with the college's Strategic Plan 2028, will be shared with the campus community at the beginning of the fall semester. From KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer. And as a quick note, AWC is indeed our license holder.
There is so much advice about decluttering, like the Marie Kondo method, where you ask yourself, does this item spark joy? Well, donating a vehicle that you don't need anymore to KAWC and Border Radio is an easy way to help us bring you the programs that bring you joy. And it's a great way to declutter. Learn more at kawc.org/cars.
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero.
Oh, classes are over, and it's time for a summer break.
We are taking some time to rest and prepare new topics for the next semester.
But you can still listen to all of our past episodes at any time.
This show is available as a podcast or online. Just search kawc.org under the show's tab.
Have a great summer, and we'll hear you soon on Siendo Primero.
KAWC and Border Radio are media sponsors of the Lutz Summer Jazz Series, with concerts every other Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. at Lutz Casino on Main Street in Yuma. On June 19th, local favorite, vocalist and saxophonist Eloisa Arvizo returns with the Yuma Jazz Company. Details at yumajazz.com/Lutz.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. On Wood Songs this week, we're very proud to have the Grammy-winning master of the blues harmonica, Charlie Musselwhite, and from New York City, Pete Mancini. Both artists plus an amazing Wood Songs kid on this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
Tuesday evening at 7 on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
I'm Mike Suba, and I'm a big supporter of KAWC. You're getting a great source of information about our community, about the people that are working and living here, and you start going, you know what, this is really a valued service. And that's the great thing, is you've got a partnership here. And I'm a big believer in partnerships because the one thing I realized early on in life, I can maybe do a lot of stuff on a very limited basis, but when I start partnering up, it's amazing what we can do when we pool our resources. And so I hope that when people are listening to the station, enjoying the news broadcasts and the entertainment shows that are being presented, that they realize that you're not only the end user and enjoying what's being broadcast to you, but it can be a partnership too, where you can participate, like I've discovered I can do, and help get this service, enhance it, and provide even better programming. I'm Mike Suba, and I support KAWC.
Turn on Border Radio KOFA 94.7 FM and cross musical borders every day. From new indie discoveries to timeless classics, listener-supported Border Radio brings you music you won't hear anywhere else. Live, local, and online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with Kase and Misty, but before we do that, the audience...
so we have some students that are listening to us over there. They're at least watching us.
Yeah,
they're waving
they're
back.
waving, yeah.
And they are with the TRIO program here at AWC, and I understand they're students from all throughout Yuma
They're
County.
jumping even. I like that. The energetic ones right over there.
They have that
Thank you.
enthusiasm at 10 a.m., 10:30.
That's great. And and real quick before we move on, too, happy birthday to Lou Gum.
Happy birthday, Lou.
Yeah, Lou's birthday today, so
great.
Hope he's doing well. But with that, it's time to move on to our guests, Kase and Misty, the owners of High Tanks Brewing Company, which is more than a brewing company. It's an event center, right? The actual first location. You guys put on a lot of stuff during the season. And then you said, well, with my spare time, I'm going to brew beer. You know, I think that's how it happened. I don't know, but we're going to find out. But before we get into all of that, Kase, where are you from originally?
Both Misty and I are from north central Oregon, so the Columbia River Gorge area of Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what city?
The Dalles, Oregon.
The Dalles.
Yep.
The Dalles. Have you heard of Smemish? Smamish?
Washington.
In Washington. Have you?
Our first guest was from Smamish, Washington.
Snohomish.
Snohomish, something like that.
Is that how you say it? Oh,
Yes.
okay. See, well,
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Okay,
we weren't
yeah.
familiar. It sounded like a made-up name to us.
I
but
told her
it does exist.
I was like, don't make up places on my show.
No,
but
right.
Anyway, so you grew up over there, born and raised?
Born and raised. Well, yep. My family had a farm and ranch up in that area, and we both, Misty and I, went to school there. Still have our kids, a couple of our kids there, and so it's kind of home away from home. This is home now.
Yeah.
We love it here.
Yeah. And so you said, Misty, you're from the same place?
Yeah.
Grew up over there. What was it like growing up over there in the Dalles?
Oh, it's a small town.
Small town?
Yeah. So about 15,000 people. So pretty small, but yeah, it's it's awesome. You're right on the river. You're at the base of Mount Hood. So
Since you got all this, is that what you do? Go to the river a lot? Do you go explore? You're out in nature?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You hike.
river sports,
Yeah.
hiking, snow skiing, water skiing.
You have seasons there.
Oh, yeah. Definite seasons.
What are those?
Yeah.
That's something different.
We just go from hot to hotter to hottest.
Yeah. So, wow, that's interesting. and then, Kase, how'd you end up here in Yuma and bringing Misty along with you?
So the Yuma, this has been, our farm, it's kind of started with the farm. Actually, it started with my folks snowbirding here. They started coming down in the 90s.
In the 90s, okay.
In the 90s, yeah. And so they'd come down. We'd come down, ride motorcycles, and, just sort of enjoy ourselves down here. And
when did you start coming? In the 90s too?
In the 90s.
Oh,
I
I
had
didn't
come
know
down
that.
a couple of times, yeah. In the 2002, my folks bought the land where the farm is now. It was just bare desert. And so that became a 20-year family project, from date farm to event site to brewery site to where we are today. So it's Yuma just grabbed a hold of us and kept us here. We love it.
Yeah. And so, okay, so what farm did you have back in the Dalles that the family have?
So, yeah, my folks farmed wheat and cattle. So they had cattle, range cattle, and then a little bit of alfalfa. I was in the building business back up north, so I was not involved in the family business there.
So construction, is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so
you're doing construction, and your parents are snowbirding down here, the winter visitors. Now, typically, when you're a winter visitor, you're retired, right? Were they retired?
They were not retired at the time. Yeah, they were sort of dipping their toe into it, but they were only, when they first started coming down here, they were in their late 40s.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, that's pretty early.
In their 50s, we worked on the farm together, built the buildings, planted the trees, all the water infrastructure. And so we would just, again, come down, visit, and whatever happened to be going on, we'd get a little playtime into and help with the farm projects.
So how did they come up with the idea, like, hey, there's land out here, we should have a date farm? Do you know?
So they were told by a lot of people. At the time, it was sort of an exclusive club, the date farms, and most of them, they didn't want to sell them shoots for the new palm trees. Most of them said, they'll never work over there. The soil's not correct. Water's not right, yada, yada. They decided to do their thing, started planting them, and the trees grew.
Little rebellious.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to show you guys.
Yep, exactly.
Tell me what.
Yep. So
and so then you started to help once that farm came to.
So we came on deck full time in 2013. So winter of 2013, we moved down here full time, leased the farm, took over the expenses, which was. We had no idea, but so we spent the next 10 years really broke, but having a great time.
Broke, but having a great time.
Yep.
What was that like, Misty?
Oh, well, I was still,
Tell me about the great time.
I actually still had a full-time job at the time, so I actually...
You weren't broke, just Kase.
Just,
like, it was like, Kase is like, can I have some money for lunch?
Yes.
You're like, here you go, baby. Yes, you can eat today.
Yeah, no, I am. But yeah, no, we worked on the farm, just kind of helped develop and outside sales and our brand and that kind of stuff. So
we're all talking about the same place, which originally was the Naked Date Farm, right?
In Welton.
In Welton. Now, you have to find people, or were they already found where you're going to distribute these, or were you guys on the cutting edge of that as well?
We actually had some buyers already that we inherited from a date farmer who went out of business that kind of helped.
Oh, okay.
So we had a couple of those that helped get us started. And when we were just starting, we weren't producing a whole lot, so it was perfect for us. And then as the farm got older and we can produce more, we've had to, develop that distribution a little bit more.
So how does it go from a date farm into High Tanks Brewing?
So we just basically, we were like, well, we're here on the farm. We're going to open up the doors and sell our dates here, sell date shakes.
Date shakes, which is common. Yuma was used to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then over the years, it just kind of developed into more menu items. And I had bought him a homebrew kit back in 2010.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Something like that, way back. And so he had been brewing beer the entire time, just home brewing.
Oh, okay.
And playing around with different recipes for a date beer, just kind of infusing the beer with the dates. And
might as well.
fermenting
You
the
got these
sugars
dates hanging around. You try to figure it out.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that all started. It took a while before we decided we wanted to do the full-on brewery and put that into place. Before that, we were just doing live music. We had a restaurant, different things out there, and then
So then, the beer's there, and then you said the live music, and shout out to Nolan. And so was it the connection to the area that you're from, the Dalles? Because it seems like a lot of the music over there kind of comes for that, and then they do this tour of sorts during their season.
Yeah, we get a lot of the touring artists from up north.
Yeah, and those are connections that Nolan's had in the industry up north. We have folks that go down for the Tucson Folk Fest, and then they'll make a loop and drop through. And a lot of touring artists, both from the Northwest and all over the region, really, even the southern states. People are moving around all over the place, so we try and catch the good ones.
We've had artists from Nashville come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Now, so how'd you meet Nolan? How did he figure into this?
He's the Dalles boy.
He's from the Dalles. He's one of the Dalles boys.
Yeah, probably about, I'm going to say 15, no, it's been more than that, almost 20 years ago. He built the website for my construction company. And so we got acquainted that way through web development and design stuff, and then started drinking beer together, and,
And that's how all good things start, right there. You start drinking beers together, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, and so we're going to take a quick break, and then on the other side, I want to talk a little bit about beer, because you went from a date beer because you have dates around, but then you can't just serve a date beer, right? You got to have other ones.
Got to have a little variety.
Yeah, you got to have variety. Yep. And now I know, and I saw you leaving River City Grill the other day. It's like you're getting your beer in more places, so we're going to find out about that as well. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Why is music an important part of your life? For many of us, music lets us see the world from someone else's perspective. We can find community in hearing someone else's joy, sorrow, or hope expressed in song or melody. KOFA Border Radio is your local, non-commercial source for great music.
What's Up Yuma Radio is sponsored in part by Nova Home Loans, serving Yuma County and nearby communities. Nova Home Loans offers residential lending services, including home loans and refinancing. They are also proud supporters of local community efforts and organizations. More information is available at novahomeloansyuma.com.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
The weather forecast for Parker today is sunny and breezy with a high near 103. Winds that could gust as high as 25 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 70. Sunny and breezy in Quartzsite with a high near 104. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 71. And sunny in Yuma with a high near 101. Clear this evening with a low around 68.
If you're tired of listening to long commercials before finally hearing music, look no further. We've got you covered. Whether you're searching on your radio, trying to find an app to play some tunes, or need background music playing on your computer while finishing up some work, KOFA Border Radio is your non-commercial place for music.
Hear the rhythm. Feel the beat. Let your curiosity run away on the Latin Alternative. Hi, I'm Josh Norick. Every episode of the Latin Alternative takes you on a thrilling rendezvous of sonic and exotic landscapes in Latin rock, funk, hip-hop, electronic, and tropical music. Join me and my co-host Ernesto Lechner on the Latin Alternative.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
The City of Yuma's annual Back to School Rodeo will take place at the Yuma Civic Center on Saturday, July 11th from 9 a.m. to noon. The first 2,000 students, K through 8th grade, will receive a backpack filled with school supplies. Child must be present, 1 bag per child. Details at yumaaz.gov/events.
Welcome to KAWC's The Hotspot.
I'm Chloe Michael.
And I'm Maya Manry. This week, we hear some fresh perspectives about Yuma. Students from all over the world sharing their experiences.
If I'm honest, it's great. I don't think I could have chosen a better place to be welcome to.
This show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the shows tab.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's The Hotspot.
For over 55 years, Border Radio KOFA has been a voice for music and culture in the region. We play indie, soul, funk, world beats, and more, plus local stories and live sessions. Tune in live at 94.7 FM, on demand at borderradioaz.org, or on the KOFA app and discover your next favorite song.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with Kase and Misty from High Tanks Brewing Company, and we kind of left off mentioning, okay, you got the date beer, and that probably took some time to kind of perfect and dial in, right?
Took about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 years of messing with that one.
But I guess, that's a good job, though, right?
It is.
Get to drink the product either way, right?
That's good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah. And so you dial that in. Then how do you say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I want to try my hand at other beers?
Well, so first of all, almost everybody that's ever homebrewed, they have this passion. Most of us do. Most of us want to go on to the next step if you're really into it. And so that passion sort of leads you down the road to other people's beers. You taste other beers, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd like to make one of those, And so you sort of get a feel for, obviously, your own tastes, and then sort of a regional taste is what we've kind of tried to go for. So we have a lot of beers that are really great for hot weather, that are just nice, refreshing, light, low alcohol beers. And we also have beers for the other side of that equation, but only a few of those, we still always want to emphasize the dates because it's a major ingredient that we have access to.
And you have a few of those, right?
We have a few dates.
Yeah.
Usually 300,000 or 400,000 pounds a year. So
might as well use them. What was the second beer that you brewed? Because there's lagers or porters, the different ones. What was the?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, the first beer I brewed was a lager because I told the guy that I got. So Misty bought me the homebrew kit, and happened to be from a buddy of mine. And I was like, I don't know why I want to homebrew. I like Coors Light. He's like, well, brew one. And so we brewed a light lager to start with. And so that's kind of where it starts. And then, again, you sort of develop your tastes and preferences as you brew more quality beer. And again, I'm not saying Coors Light is not quality. What it is a very consistent product. So ultimately, that's where you want to get to in a craft brewing scenario is you, on a very, very small scale, I mean, micro scale compared to the big guys, you need to brew consistently and quality beer. And so that's our biggest challenge.
And that's the thing, right? Because you get a Coors Light, it's going to taste like a Coors Light every time. And you know what you like, and somebody tries to sneak you a Bud Light and you're like, no, that's not it, because they all have their distinct flavors. Now, is there any beer that's been more challenging to brew?
So yes, we do have our hazy IPAs, which that is one of our more popular beers.
Really?
But it's really challenging to brew. We've gotten it right every time we've brewed it, but that requires so much hopping. So you have to put hops in. We call it dry hopping. So you put the hops actually in the fermenter after the boil process, which a lot of times they go in during boil. So there's that. There's overflows. This beer does all kinds of crazy stuff all the time. Makes huge messes of the brewery.
Yeah. It's a bit of, like the chemistry kind of comes out and it's demonstrable, huh?
It is. Yeah. And they definitely, every fermentation kind of has its own personality. So like our Double Date, which is a very high alcohol content beer. So that one's a very aggressive beer as well. So it comes out the bottom, with bubble. So you walk in there and it's like a cauldron going off.
Wow.
It's constant bubbling. The hazy IPA tends to shoot out the top. It blows off the pressure relief valve and shoots all over the walls and the rest of the equipment.
So just depending on what you're making in there, that has its own attitude, it sounds like.
Definitely. Yeah, they all have their own personality. So
yeah, and so the IPAs, that's like super popular, right? And that's, you're saying a lot of hops. Is that what makes it taste that way?
Exactly. So it requires significantly more hops than, say, a lager or a standard ale. So an IPA is an ale, but it's just hopped differently than like a golden or a lighter ale. So, yeah.
And then my favorite is Heffenweisers or Heffenweisen. Is that the proper?
Heff, yeah. Yep. So that's made with wheat. And we don't have one yet. It's not that, again, we always kind of gear towards the lighter ales, the light lagers, and that's what we tend to sell a lot of, and we love them.
Would that not be something for a warmer climate then?
Sure it is.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it is. The Hefts are a good beer they're a nice light beer, generally speaking. So.
Okay, it sounds like a collab that we're going to have to do there.
Yeah.
We're going to have to figure that out. So
We're going to
make it happen.
Johnny gets his beer.
Right? Yeah. The What's Up Yuma beer.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make it happen.
And then, so now you're making the beer, and now you got to get it into restaurants, bars, and stuff like that. How'd that go?
Well, so initially our production was so low that we could just simply supply our own
Out
needs.
There,
Yep. We've since geared up our production and we're getting ready to gear up once again. But now we're able to actually get out and distribute. And in Arizona, we can self-distribute. So we literally take the beer to our clients, our partners in the industry, our bars, our restaurants, and we drop them off. We clean their lines where our beer is. We kind of take care of the whole process for them.
Because you want clean lines, because that goes into the flavor as well. If it's dirty, so you maintain them, you go over there. And so you had to become a bit of a salesman too, right?
Yeah. That's a big part of the process. And it's, restaurant people are busy. When they are there, they're busy. When they're not busy, they're not there, or they're doing, so it's a very much a hit and miss thing. We hit several times before we actually sell a client. But,
so do you know how many places you're in here in Yuma, or Yuma County?
I think officially, and it's strictly Yuma at this point, I think we have 15 accounts.
Wow.
We're working on several more. We just picked up a couple of nice ones recently. We've had some great partners that have been with us kind of from day one, like the Pint House, like Wheezy's, Son of a Gun, some really, really good folks they love beer, they understand beer, and it's really fun to work with those guys.
And then last thing, the Tap Takeover is this Friday. Tell everybody a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. That's going to be a great time. So 7 to 9 at the Pint House. Johnny is going to be helping us out with that.
There you go.
We'll have raffles and prizes and lots of wonderful beer to taste. it's going to be a party.
It's going to be fun.
And the next day after that, you're at Son of a Gun, right?
Yes, we're doing an event with Son of a Gun, so that they're always fun. They do it up nice with charcuterie trays and all kinds of good stuff.
And it's beautiful in there. You want to go to that one too, Victor? You want to?
Sure. Yeah, let me know when it's going on.
Yeah, the next day it's going to be Saturday. So maybe we'll check that out. Okay. So tell everybody real quick your website and your Instagram and stuff.
All right. Our website is www.hightanks.com. And we are on Instagram and Facebook at High Tanks Brewing.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to Friday. We made a date, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're going.
Sure.
Cool.
All right, guys.
All right, cool. And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. Want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
That's all you. Keep it going. I have the sheet.
Yeah, okay. You can find out more about KOFA at kofa.org, on Facebook at KOFA Border Radio, and at the KAWC app. I'm not used to reading this part, Victor. Stay tuned following our program for the KOFA Midday Music. And who's on tomorrow, Victor?
On tomorrow's show, we have Chef Lucy Sedano from Top Meals and reporter Moses Famino from KYMA.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio. And thank you guys. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Citrine Law, LLC, a Yuma law firm practicing criminal defense, DUI defense, and personal injury law. Information is at citrinelaw.com.
This is Border Radio, KOFA.